understand why I call it the circus clown of truth in just a moment. There's a philosopher that some of you may know about, but I went to school and seminary. They taught us the Søren Kierkegaard was a great famous Dutch philosopher. And he told this story, and I'd like to share that story back with you. Let's see. Can y'all hear me real well? Okay. There was a circus fire, and right outside of this town, and the flames of the circus fire spread quickly, surrounding the whole circus grounds, and began to burn toward the village below. The circus master, convinced that the village would be destroyed and the people killed unless they were warned, and asked them to go to the village people. In costume, jumped on his bicycle and sped down the hill to the village below. "Run for your lives, run for your lives," he yelled. "A fire is coming and the village is going to burn," he shouted as he rode down the streets of the village. "The village is going to burn, run for your lives." Curious villagers came from their homes and stood along the sidewalk. They shot back at the clown, laughing and applauding his performance. The more desperately the clown shouted, the more the villagers cheered. Well, ultimately, the village burned, and the loss of life was great because no one took the clown seriously. After all, he was just a clown. Now, as I read that story, especially during Eastertide, several thoughts came to mind. Like the clown, sometimes truth comes masqueraded into our midst. On the surface, it looks silly, uninspiring, and unimportant in our lives. It announces itself as a child who says something simply, but has a profound truth to it. Or possibly it comes from a great philosopher. Same difference. It hides in a casual view of a sunrise this morning that I will come above the mountain, as well as the night sky here that is full of the stars, and the truth is spoken there. It's heard in a silly joke, and then even in a brilliant oratory or a great sermon, we hear great truth. It comes from all different ways, or it could come from just a simple Nazarene who was killed and put into a grave, and then he disappeared from the grave. Truth is shouted to us in so many ways, through different mediums, because it can come disguised in resources, and the way it comes from, we can discount it. It can possibly be the most profound information we could hear or see or feel if we just open our ears to listen and let God speak to our hearts and not to just our minds and ears. Sources, even when we don't care for them, even an enemy or someone that is someone that we don't respect very much, can give a voice of truth. We've got to listen to parts where God is trying to talk to us. We've got to open our ears of prejudice and biasness, so there to be no truth from that source. Be on guard, though. There could be untruths coming from there as well. But God uses all the mediums to speak to us, to show us He is God, that He loves us, and He sent His Son to show us new life. We've got to listen from our hearts. Listen. You will know if there's truth. As you hear it, you will hear the truth because your heart is open to God speaking. Don't be too judgmental of the source and just forget about him. When a silly clown shouts the truth, it's still truth no matter the clothing it comes in. Our Creator is speaking words of comfort, hope, and warning. Listen, think, feel, and see truth. You'll know it because it has a big red nose on its face. God bless you.